Our motto is simple: be consistently good rather than occasionally great.
Hey everyone, I'm Andriana. I'm the creative director and co-founder here at Burnt, and with me is...
I'm Shanna, and I'm the senior fashion designer here at Burnt.
So the two of us are going to answer all of the questions that you guys have asked on our Instagram. So to give you a little bit more insight and background as to our design process and how a collection actually comes to life. So we're very excited. You guys asked some very, very good questions, and we're just gonna take it away. Okay, so basically, well, we have a look at our whole year and we see which types of products we want to launch at which times. You know, is it going to be a massive collection? Is it going to be a capsule collection? Is it going to be sporty or like pro? Or is it going to be like a more everyday active collection? From there, whenever the time comes about that we now need to start developing on that collection, we start from the ground up. So we go and we research all of it, from global trends to like color trends, new developments, whatever has come to life in the past while. We all bring our ideas together, and then Shan and her team puts a very exciting presentation together for me.
Yeah, so we go and we do a bunch of trend research. We get an overview idea from Andriana on what the creative direction is for our items and our products, and we really go in deep dive into what's trending, what's cool, what we love. And the team puts a color palette together, we put intention mood boards together, and we really go and like deep dive into amazing ideas and colors and fabrics for the year to come.
Yeah, so I love these meetings. So I get to sit in and Shan and her team presents, you know, a whole bunch of different color palettes and everything to me, and then we narrow it down into one or two that we actually want to take a little bit further. So some of them are really cool, but you know, we might have done something similar to it in the past or a little bit too close in the past. So basically from there on, we start like a big line sheet and we just brain drain everything that we want on there, and that will basically be the start of the collection. Well, when we first started out and it was just me and Pierre and the brand, I just sketched it by hand, but then Shan joined the team and she's an actual, you know, trained fashion designer, so she does it on a laptop, so you can tell us a little bit more.
So I draw technical drawings for all our designs. This kind of just gives you a little bit of an idea, because we work with a really technical product, where the cut lines are, how wide and far the cut lines are from each other, where does the bust sit, where's the hemline, what type of stitching we use where. So I really do draw very technical drawings for Andriana when we present the presentation, but then also for our suppliers, so that they know what type of stitching we want, where we want the stitching, how the neckline looks, so that it's not too rough and all over the place.
Yeah, and the better design we send to them, the better samples we get back, and it's not so much of a back and forth. So we put a lot of detail and a lot of thought into every single thing that we send on.
CADs from scratch take me quite some time. I think the more basic ones that we've already used, I like to tweak a bit. But yeah, if a whole collection to CAD takes me about a month.
Yes. We definitely will. We are, actually. So we basically just ask the manufacturers to make sure that whenever they get new fabrics or new technicalities in, that they send this on to us, so that we know that we are on top of it, that every single thing that we know is out there is also in our studio, and we can work from that. Very often we also ask them to sample one of our existing products in a new fabric, something that we have researched, to actually feel, you know, what it's like. Is it better than something that we've already created? And oftentimes we actually, you know, improve our products this way. So like I mentioned, we send off a whole bunch of sample drawings to our manufacturer, as much and as wide and as wild as we possibly can. Anything that we have potentially thought that we wanted to see, we put in there to actually physically get it into our hands. We then get a whole bunch of samples in for a specific collection. It is a wide variety, and then seeing it in person and trying it on, it becomes very, very clear the direction that we want to go into and the products that we actually want. So the products that we get or decide to go forward with is normally about a third of the initial samples that we get, and from there on we refine it again. We tweak it, we test it, we send it off, and we get another round of samples, and normally from there we tweak it once more before we actually get our pre-production samples. Yeah, so this is a very, very important part of our whole development process. As soon as we get samples here, even before we, send it off for a little bit more of a refinement, we actually test it out. We want to make sure that the product not only looks really good, but that it is very functional, that it works really well, that it supports you in the activity that you actually want. So lucky for us, even within our design team, we're
a lot of us that do different exercises, which is really nice and really important.
Yeah.
Getting people to run in it, getting girls to go and gym in the product, having you just like even yoga, and really just feeling the fabric and tasting it out in many different activities, which is so important.
And with that, we also have all of these girls and guys wash the products at home to see what it washes like in different washing machines, and to see that it washes really well and its durability is very good. And then with very sport specific product like golf, with our pro running range, we actually send it to our athletes and to professionals in these sports to give us their honest, raw, not holding back opinion, to make sure that we get the best product that we possibly can, to make sure that it is actually fit for the sport, and it's not just from a one person point of view that I love it and it fits my body, but for an athlete it works a certain way, and we want to make sure that it works for majority of activities and for majority of body types. Yeah, so this is why I love our job so much. We just get to do the best thing ever. So when we started Burnt, we wanted to make sure that it's very, very clear that we make a very fashionable product that also enables you to reach your goals. So, from Shanna's point of view, you want to make sure that we have a very, very aesthetic product when we send it off to sampling. Yeah.
Yes, but that it's still functional, so you still have a lot of functionality in your items that you're wearing every day when you're going to the gym, when you're going for a run, but you look your absolute best doing it.
I believe that, when you feel good and you look good in something, that you actually enjoy it more, and when you've got a new gym outfit, then you go more often, or you run faster, or whatever that may be. But both of these elements in our clothing is very, very important to us. So first of all, our quality is above all else the most important thing. We wanted to make sure that even though something looks really good, that shouldn't be the only factor that we take into consideration. You need to do various amount of activities in it as well. But we also want to make sure that you see a product, even if you don't see our branding on it, that you can very clearly see this is Burnt. This is a Burnt product. We have a very, very specific thumbprint that we put onto our products, and we want to make sure that like fashionable aesthetic comes through our performance wear.
Yeah, and throughout the years, our look and feel has evolved quite a bit, and you can definitely see it if you look at items from 2 years ago, but you'll still know that is a Burnt tight.
Yeah, I would say the fact that we place such a big emphasis on the fashionable aspect of it, definitely that's something that catches your attention. But like I said, quality above all else. I believe that if you try one of our products for the very first time, you might take a bit of a chance on it. It's a brand that you might not have known about. I believe that if you try products for the very first time, you'll come back for it time and time and time again, because it will not let you down. Okay, so when we initially started, we you can Google what is the standard length of a tight and you'll get certain dimensions. And we actually started out with these like standard dimensions, but with our fabric being so fantastic, with a 4-way stretch, it actually lends itself a lot to a lengthwise stretch as well. So I initially got feedback from a lot of our customers, and also felt it from myself that the tights were a little bit too long, even though you hang them in front of you and it looks like a full-length tight, absolutely. But if you put it on, it stretches so much, and it's so like it molds so well to your body that it actually ended up being a little bit too long. So we then went back and took off about this much of the tights, and then it was too short again, and we lengthened it a little bit again, and then it ended up being the correct length. So we've just found that this length lends itself to a lot of different lengths, and then recently adding our 7/8 length to girls who are a little bit shorter, to make sure that we've got these very sleek looking tights on all different body types. We do. So, like I said, quality above all else. So with us expanding into what?
Socks, caps, we have now got pro ranges, we have a lot of outerwear, we have a lot of athleisure, cottons, jewelry. So we really have a massive amount of categories within the business.
And initially we started out with just activewear, so we just had one manufacturer. With adding these different elements to our offering, we wanted to make sure that it gets made at the best of the best. So we don't necessarily want to make a cotton-based product at a manufacturer that specializes in activewear. So we found the best cotton supplier, we found the best activewear supplier, the best outerwear, the best jewelry, socks, caps, everything. So yes, long answer short. What? Short answer long? Long story short. We've got quite a handful of manufacturers.
I think it's been quite an interesting process because we work quite tightly together as a team, and there's obviously all of our opinions. So getting the opinions from the community was so refreshing, and oh wow, we didn't know that that's what you guys wanted in a tight, and putting a bunch of odd things that we thought in one space and maneuvering it around and making it work. That was really exciting and really fun.
It was. I think actually my sister-in-law mentioned it to me. She took it so seriously, the voting. She went forward and back and really thought about every single decision. Yeah. So the answers that we got from our community was really, really personal, and it was really insightful. And it was a bit of a different approach, because normally within the four walls of our office we make all the decisions, and being guided by a community in such a very direct way was so much fun actually, and keeping all of them in mind when we designed this was such a fun process. So it's going to be a very unique collection. It's going to be made by you, for you, and we're very excited about it.
Yes, and we're planning to have it launch in summer next year. So keep your eyes out for that.
Okay, so our community is at the forefront of every single thing that we do. Everything that we design is made for our community to make sure that we've got the best activewear products. Normally we get product feedback from our customers from so many different sources. I mean, your friends will mention something to you, or we'll get an email or DM or comments, or in passing, or at the burnt run clubs, or whatever that may be. And we always take this to heart. But we wanted to create an opportunity for our community to really give all of their insights in one, channel basically. So we got a lot of insight as to what our community finds important, what things we need to look out for. We learned a lot from this. And then with that, we had this fun opportunity of designing with you.
Yeah, we got to see what features of our tights you guys like the most, what features in a bra you like the most, what you want to see together in a tight. So that was really interesting, really fun.
That type of feedback is really important. And then with an aesthetic that you guys chose, it was a bit of an out there one. It was a bit of a wild card mood board that we put out there, the nice cobalt blue. So knowing that this is a daring collection that you guys voted for, I think it spoke, volumes of our community and what we can learn.
Definitely.
So that's it for the design part of this whole process. If you guys enjoyed this video, stay tuned for our next one, where we will be talking about all things content creation, marketing digitally, in-store, and how we actually roll out a launch to you guys. So very excited about this. We've got a lot to show you, and we've got a lot for you guys to vote on and help us decide. So stay tuned. We're very excited about this, and thank you so much for your great ideas and for being involved in this process. It's been such a fun experience.